Welcome to the grand final of the season 6 of the Zephyr Quiz League. The Zephyr Quiz League started in 2021 and we are down finally to season 6. We had about 300 plus participants in this particular season, and now we've whittled them down to the final four for this grand finale. A big thank you to all our question setters, whom you see listed out there, a stellar cast of question setters, and very ably supported for all the wonderful statistics and analysis by Dinesh Kritivasan. Could you move on to the next slide, please? Yeah. This would not have been possible to read so many games without the wonderful contributions by all our readers whom you see listed there. We had more than 70 readers reading all the games this time. A big thank you to all of you, and please continue to support us. Here are the season 6 tier champions. As you can see there, I think almost 19 tiers, and every tier had its little final, and here they all are, right from Mario Fernando on tier 2 to Keshav Ram on tier 19. Whichever tier you're in, you're a champion, and best of luck for future games, and congratulations on this one. We also have category leaders whom we'd like to acknowledge based on the total answers accrued over those various categories such as culture, sports and games, etc. And here they are, the elite in their different categories. Congratulations to all of you. And now let's meet the final four for this grand finale of season 6. In seat 1 is a newcomer, Shashwat Salgaocar, at least a newcomer to the grand final. He'll be making his first appearance. He's come close a couple of times in the past, including notching a cigar final a couple of seasons ago, and he won that, and we are very pleased to have him here for the grand finale for the first time. At seat 2, a very familiar face to all of us, Seoan Webb has performed consistently well since the league's inception, finishing in tier 1 in every season and qualifying for 2 grand finals in the past. And this is his third time. Is he going to be third time lucky and win this grand finale? We'll keep watching that. In seat 3, we have Dan Burgess. He'll be playing his second consecutive grand final and will certainly be keen to make up for that runner-up finish last season. And finally, in seat 4, a very familiar face to all of you who quiz in these Mimir games, Nikhil Soneja. Nikhil Soneja is also appearing for his first Zephyr Grand Final after a close encounter last season that saw him end up in the cigar final. So these are our 4 very able grand finalists. Best of luck to all you gentlemen. And let's show the first question to Shashwat.
Good luck.
Good luck, everyone.
This fashion aesthetic, which revives the late 1990s and early 2000s power dressing with a sexy twist, is Gen Z's take on corporate style with flair. It incorporates pencil skirts, button-down shirts, and glasses to make heads turn at workplace, akin to certain alluring beings of the sea. What's it called? 2 words, 6 and 5 letters.
Office siren.
Office siren it is. That's 1 point to you. Great start there. And let's see the answer. There it is. Let's move on to the second question for Shashwat. This 1967 passion project was the most expensive French film ever made at the time of its release. Tired of his many comic creations, the director set out to create a film without a traditional story or script. He even built a miniature city out of pocket to bring his vision to life. Which film that would go on to bankrupt its director is this?
Yeah, no idea. Network.
Not The Network. Passing to Sean.
Play safe. Pass.
Passing to Dan.
Playtime.
Playtime it is, Dan. Well done.
well
That's
done.
a nice pickup there. So as you guessed, these are passion projects didn't quite live up to the passion and didn't work out too well in the box office, inspired, of course, by the recent Megalopolis film. So there'll be more of these kinds of questions coming up. But in the meanwhile, the next question goes to Sean. In Rebel Sultans, Manu S. Pillai narrates the story of the Deccan from the fall of Alauddin Khilji to the rise of Shivaji. The first chapter, titled Sons of Fury, narrates how Hassan Gangu, also known as Zephyr Khan, transformed himself into a sultan by establishing which sultanate, the first independent Muslim kingdom of the Deccan. Okay.
No, can't remember it. Pass.
Passing to Nikhil.
Bahamani?
Bahamani it is. Yes, Nikhil gets
good.
his Indian history right here. Bahamani Sultanate or the Bahamani Kingdom is the right answer. Well done. Good pickup there by Nikhil. The next question to you, Sean. Which British explorer set sail with a crew to go to Tahiti in the Venus on 5th February 1803 and was never seen again? His most famous voyage was in 1798, when he set sail with Matthew Flinders on the sloop Norfolk to circumnavigate Van Diemen's Land and explore its waters.
That's me. Probably Bass.
Bass is absolutely right. Well done.
Well done.
Yeah.
This
Thanks.
happens to be George Bass. The Bass Strait separating Van Diemen's Land or Tasmania from Australia is named after him. The first of two questions to Dan Burgess. Dan, Mount Triglav, the highest mountain in Slovenia, featuring even on the country's flag, is part of which mountain range that is spread between Italy and Slovenia? It is named after an ancient statesman who is believed to have built a road making the mountains accessible. So we're looking for a two-word answer here.
The Diocletian Alps. I don't know.
Not the Diocletian Alps. Shashwat, would you like to try?
Dinaric Alps?
Not the Dinaric Alps. Sean?
Oh, I'll pass. Play safe.
Pardon?
Pass.
Passing,
Pass.
okay.
Sorry.
Nikhil?
Pass.
Passing as well. Okay, so this all was very close.
Oh, Julian Alps.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it turns out to be the Julian Alps. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's what it is. After Julius Caesar. No worries, Dan. Lots more to go. Here's your next question. Several NBA franchises are credited with championships that were technically won in their previous avatar. This franchise, while it was based in a city in New York State, is technically credited with the 1951 NBA championship. Led by Bob Davies, they bested the New York Knicks in 7 games. Identify the alliterative older name of this franchise.
Rochester Royals.
The Rochester Royals, there was absolutely no time wasted there by Dan, and it turns out to be the Rochester Royals. Absolutely right. 1 point to you. Nikhil, your first of two. Many paintings by Artemisia Gentileschi depict virtuous women who were ill-treated by men. This painting by Gentileschi depicts which Argive princess, the only child of King Acrisius? She is locked away after a prophecy led her father to believe that his grandchild would lead to his death. Zeus comes to her in the form of a shower of gold, and she soon bears Perseus, who goes on to kill his grandfather in his adulthood.
Say Danae.
It is Danae. Let's take a look at the answer. There you go. Zeus visiting Danae in a shower of gold, one of his more inventive appearances. Next question for you, Nikhil. Deriving from the Latin word for to live, identify this type of enclosure, container, or structure adapted or prepared for keeping animals under semi-natural conditions for observation or study, or even as pets. It includes many subtypes depending on the type of habitat enclosed, such as a terrarium or an aquarium. So what is the name of this kind of enclosure derived from the Latin word to live?
Say vivarium.
It is a vivarium, from viva meaning to live. Well done. And next question. Round two. First question to Shashwat. Which sans serif typeface designed by Tobias Frere Jones and Jess Reagan for GQ magazine in 2002 was inspired by the architectural signs of the mid-20th century in New York City? It found universal appeal after it was used prominently by Obama's 2008 election campaign, although it is yet to be picked up by DC Comics.
Gotham.
Gotham it is. Again, no delay there in the answer. Yes, it is. 1 point to you, Shashwat. And your next question. While counting down to her latest album, The Great Impersonator, Halsey impersonated a different icon every day and teased a snippet of the song they inspired. This photograph sees Halsey impersonating which singer-songwriter, as seen on the cover of a 1995 release titled Absolutely Acoustic. She replaced Niall Quinn on the band she is most commonly associated with and is well known for her signature yodel and strong Irish accent.
O'Riordan.
O'Riordan is right. Dolores O'Riordan, who belonged to the group The Cranberries. And that's a nice 2 points up for you there. Over to you, Sean, the first of your two in round two. Identify this type of Korean dumplings that consist of a savory filling wrapped in thin wrappers and either steamed, boiled, pan-fried, or deep-fried. You may also identify the type of dumplings found in Turkey, Central Asia, and the South Caucasus, whose name is cognate with this Korean form.
No, pass.
Passing to Dan.
Yes.
Nikhil
Pass.
and Shashwat.
Pass, yeah.
Passing. Okay. The first of these coming back to the
Mandu.
question setters. So this is Mandu or Manti. So doesn't matter. Next question. Don't worry, Sean. Here it is. What type of rays, 11 letters, form during the twilight hours when the sun appears to be just above or below a layer of clouds? They are visible as distinct shafts of light and dark bands created by clouds that partially block sunlight.
Crepuscular rays.
It is absolutely right. It is crepuscular. That's the good word here. Crepuscular rays. And the next question coming up, the first of two to Dan. Dan, the most basic version of this fashion aesthetic involves throwing a fur coat, real or faux, over an all-black outfit while incorporating animal prints, big hair, red lips, and chunky gold jewelry to emulate the style of women who are married to or involved with mafia members. What's it called? 2 words, 3 and 4 letters.
Mob wife.
Mob wife it is. Absolutely right. And your next question. Which British explorer went missing after departing from England in 1845 aboard HMS Erebus and HMS Terror to traverse the last unnavigated sections of the Northwest Passage? In 2014, the wreckage of this expedition was discovered in the waterways of Nunavut.
Franklin.
Franklin it is. So both these ships were part of the very successful Ross expedition of 1839 to 43 to the Antarctic. Nicely answered there, Dan. Your first of two, Nikhil, in this round. Which writer borrowed his pen name from the German city of the same name, the birthplace of J.J. Winckelmann, an art historian and archaeologist famous at that time? He added an extra H to make the Germanic pronunciation more clear and touches upon his pen name or names in Memoirs of an Egotist.
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt. Okay, good try. Valiant effort there, but not the right answer. Sean,
Stendhal.
could you repeat that, Sean?
Stendhal.
Yes, it is Stendhal.
Ah,
Stendhal, also known as Murray Henry Bale. Good steal there, Sean. Here is your second question, Nikhil. This is a list of countries bordering Poland in descending order of border length. Which country is missing? So you have Czech Republic, Ukraine, Germany, a blank, and then Belarus.
Russia.
Not Russia. Passing to Shashwat.
Pass.
Okay, passing to Sean.
Pass. Should have gone for-
Dan.
Back between two, I'll pass.
Okay,
How
any?
is Russia not there though?
Not Russia.
Probably shortened, but
Here it is.
the
The
Well,
border's
it's-
way more than 5. The issue is just Russia's border is probably
Yeah.
smaller than
it's shorter than
Belarus.
Belarus.
Oh, I thought this was exhausted. Okay.
No.
Oh,
it's not.
that's the first 5. No?
Yeah.
Yeah. I should have said
Yeah.
Slovakia, but yeah, such is life.
Okay. Right, let's move on to round 3. And the first of two questions is Shashwat on squash. Who won the inaugural Men's World Squash Championship in 1976? Widely considered to be one of the greatest in the sport's history, this Australian would go on to amass 3 more world titles, all of which came against his arch rival Qamar Zaman.
Hunt.
Pardon?
Hunt.
Hunt it is. Yes, it is Jeff Hunt. Well done. And here is your second question, Shashwat. Which French explorer vanished along with his crew near Solomon Islands 3 years into a world expedition? His ships Astrolabe and La Boussole set sail from Brest in 1785 and visited places as far as Hawaii, Chile, Alaska, Korea, and Russia, where a key strait is named for him. So just his last name would do.
Lafayette.
Not Lafayette. Sean?
La Perouse.
It is La Perouse or Jean-Francois La Perouse. He was one of the young men who applied, or rather one of the young men who applied for the voyage, for this one, was a 16-year-old Corsican whom you might remember as Napoleon Bonaparte. He was made the preliminary list but was not chosen for this particular expedition. Nice answering there, a steal by Sean. And Sean,
Yes.
here is your own set of questions coming up. Deriving from the Latin word for riverbank, identify this type of semi-aquatic enclosure designed to replicate the interface or zone found along the edges of rivers and streams. It has significantly lesser land mass compared to its volume of water and typically houses amphibians alongside plants that grow when immersed or fully submerged. The Latin word for riverbank.
Okay. Riparian.
Yes, it is riparian. Well done. Riparian or riparium in this case. Yeah, that's good enough for me. And next question coming up. This passion project, like Megalopolis, started in 1970 and remained unfinished during its director's lifetime and only saw the light of day in 2018 after Netflix bought the rights. It saw delays because its creator kept taking breaks to shoot ads and other films to fund it. Which film that holds the record for the most prolonged production period of any film is this one?
No, I can't remember. Pass.
Okay, passing to Dan.
The Other Side of the Wind.
Wow, the other side of
hold
the
on.
wind it is. Well done. That was pulled out amazingly by Dan. Well done, Dan. Orson Welles, of course, clearly recognizable there. Okay, and Dan, here is your set of 2 questions. And we are back to dumplings. Identify this class of Italian dumplings, which are badly formed balls of ricotta and spinach, which is lighter in comparison to the potato-based gnocchi. You may also identify its Tuscan form, where they are considered to be naked ravioli, as it consists of just the filling without the pasta shell.
Malaformato.
Could you repeat that, Dan?
I said malaformato.
That's not quite. Yeah, okay. Nikhil?
Pass.
Shashwat?
Pass.
And Sean?
Malformer.
Sean, could you repeat that?
That's malformer.
No, that's not
Okay,
the answer either.
Malaformaggi? What is it?
It's
Malfatti.
Malfatti. Okay.
Yeah, I thought the naked one would also be. Oh, so
Yeah.
the gnocchi and nudi.
Nudie, yeah.
Well, that's nice. Fine, there we are.
But well played. I mean, a good attempt at getting that answer there.
I know what the Italian for bad is, and then after that, it's just pick something.
Well,
Yeah.
that's how Malfatti can break sometimes, like the cookie. Okay. Dan, anyway, I think you have one more question coming up. Here, let's take a look at that. Okay, here's another list. This time it's countries bordering Brazil in descending order of border length. Which country is missing? So we have in order, the first 5 would be Bolivia, Venezuela, Colombia, blank, and Paraguay.
Peru.
Peru, let's take a look at the answer, and you're absolutely right. Well done, well done. It is Peru. And Nikhil, your set of 2. Phase 5 of the MCU is made up of productions released between 2023 and moving on till mid-2025. Now, identify this Marvel series which sees Nick Fury and Talos working together to foil a clandestine plot by a group of shape-shifting Skrulls to take over governments around the world.
Secret Wars.
No, that's not the right answer. Shashwat?
Pass.
Dan?
Secret War, singular?
No.
Really?
And Sean?
Oh, I think I'll pass. Actually.
Okay. So it sounds like Secret War. It's just
Oh,
Secret
another
Invasion.
okay. Secret
Yeah, yeah.
Invasion it is.
Both pretty
Unfortunately, this is
close.
the title,
Mm.
so
in the
we can't
comics, they call it
have
Secret
any
War.
options
Okay.
for
Fair.
I think it's leading into that.
synonym.
That's
Yeah.
that's going to be the global event.
Yeah. I think you
Right,
generally
Nikhil,
have
here's your
invasions
next
or don't
question.
you?
Are you ready? Yeah. This franchise, while it was based in a city located near the confluence of two major rivers, is technically credited with a 1958 NBA championship. Led by Bob Pettit, they bested the Boston Celtics in 6 games. Identify the older name of this franchise.
Mm.
Your answer,
Say
please.
the St. Louis Hawks.
The St. Louis Hawks. I don't know if that was a guess, but you're absolutely right. Well done. Well done. It is the
Just put
St.
together
Louis Hawks.
the two things.
Oh, good. You picked the right one then, Nikhil.
Mm.
Okay, let's move on to round 4. First question to Shashwat. Shashwat, back to the vivariums. Unlike a vivarium which hosts live plants, a herbarium is a collection of preserved plant specimens used for scientific study. Deriving from the Greek word for wood, identify this type of repository that consists of authenticated wood specimens, either mounted on plaques or stored in the form of book-shaped volumes.
Uh, Dendrary or Dendrarium.
Not dendrarium. Moving to Nikhil.
Xylorium?
Okay, that is absolutely right. It's xylarium or xylotech would do
Xylotech.
equally well. Good steal
Right,
there,
that's
Nikhil.
Bibliotheca.
That's excellent.
Right, so let's move on to the next question to Shashwat. Okay, what atmospheric optical phenomenon, either 9 letters or split into 5 and 4, 2 words, appears as a colorful light that lingers on the horizon shortly after sunset? It may remind one of good feelings that one may bask in having achieved something.
Uh, Glory Pink.
Not glory pink, Nikhil.
Afterglow.
Afterglow, it
Oh,
is.
nice.
Well done. It is afterglow. Another good steal there by Nikhil. And the next question going to Sean. Sean, back to Gentileschi. This painting depicts which noblewoman, the wife of a Roman general Collatinus, at the moment of her suicide. She took her own life after she was raped and blackmailed by Sextus Tarquinius, the son of the last king of Rome, Tarquin the Proud. This incident's aftermath led to the formation of the Roman Republic.
Lucrece.
Lucrece or Lucrezia is absolutely right. There you go. And next question to you again, Sean. Which writer changed his name in 1695 around the age of 35 by adding an aristocratic sounding 2-letter preposition to his last name? This journalist used over 100 pseudonyms during his life, primarily to avoid being detained for his various political pamphlets and dissents.
Defoe.
Defoe it is. The DE in Defoe was added Well done. Nice answering there. This is
Yes.
Daniel Defoe. And Dan, the first of your two. Back to typefaces. Which sans serif typeface, created by Matthew Carter and Thomas Rickner for Microsoft in 1996, was designed to be readable at small sizes on low-resolution computer screens? Famously used by the IKEA catalog from 2009 to 19, some sources falsely claim that his name was inspired by the lush vegetation around the Microsoft headquarters.
Oh, just say Redmond.
What did you say, Dan?
Redmond.
No, it's not. Shashwat?
Verdana.
Verdana it is, yes, from
Oh,
Verdant and
Nice.
Anna, who happened to be the daughter of a Microsoft executive. So that's Verdana for you, one of the more popular sans serif fonts. Dan, your next question. Identify this Marvel series which sees Alaqua Cox reprising her role from Hawkeye. It follows the titular character trying to find her voice after she returns to her Native American roots.
Echo.
Echo it is. No delay there in that answer. And Nikhil, the first of your two. In the early 16th century, a league of rebel sultans, i.e. the mutinous governors of the Bahmani Sultanate, went their own way, forming 5 separate sultanates. In 1492, Qasim Barid I assumed de facto control of state affairs of the Bahmani kingdom and established which sultanate that ruled out its namesake's capital fort. That ruled out of its namesake's capital fort.
Golconda.
Not Golconda. Nice try, Shashwat.
Pass.
Passing to Sean.
I think. This,
Okay.
pass.
Dan.
Pass.
Okay,
Pass.
passing. Think of a GI product. So
Bidar.
Bidar. This is
Bidari.
Bidar, from where you get Bidri. Yeah.
Mm.
This is the Bidar Sultanate, which is ruled by the Bidar Barid Shahi dynasty. Okay, let's move on from Indian history. Let's see what the next topic is. Right, geography. Moldovenu Peak is the highest peak in which mountain range spread across Romania that is also known as the Southern Carpathians. Its name derives from a term meaning beyond the forest that is used in general to refer to a historic and cultural region around that area.
You need a two-word answer, right?
Yes, it's a two-word answer.
So I'll say the Transylvanian Alps.
And you're absolutely right there. No change in that answer. Transylvanian Alps, Trans and Sylvania across the forest. Nicely worked out there, Shashwat. You're first in the next round. This is round 5 starting. Back to the Gentileschi paintings. And this one depicts a virtuous Israeli figure being lusted by the king of Israel. He causes her numerous hardships, including plotting the death of her husband Uriah the Hittite in battle, later forcing her to become his queen consort. These actions displeased God, who plunges the king into anguish. So who is the lady in question?
Bathsheba.
Yes, it is Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah the Hittite, and of course the culprit here was David. Okay, next question to Sean. Shashwat. Shashwat, back to dumplings. Identify this style of dumplings originating in Tibet and Nepal that is typically steamed and served with chutney known as achar, influenced by the spices used in South Asian cuisines. While the Tibetan variant is half moon in shape like jiaozi, the Nepali variant is round like baozi. I'm sure I got those pronunciations wrong, but take a look at that picture and tell me what this dumpling is called.
Momo.
It is Momo. Well done. That's straightforward there.
Hmm.
1 point to you. And let's see. Sean, here's the first of your two. Squash, who became the first South American to win the men's squash world championship in 2024. After a successful stint in the junior circuit and a run of the major finals, this Peruvian also became the first South American to be ranked world number 1 in 2023.
I saw that Peruvian had won it, but not his name. That's told anyway.
Just his last name will do if you're in doubt.
Yeah. No, I can't remember his name. Pass.
Okay. Shashwat?
Elias.
Elias it is.
Yeah.
His first name happens to be Diego. So this is Diego Elias. Points to you, Shashwat. And your next question, Sean, from squash to typefaces. Slab serif typeface, designed by Howard Kettler for IBM in the 1950s, nearly released with the name Messenger. So which typeface is this? In the 1990s, it found renewed use in the electronic and programming world as columns of characters needed to be consistently aligned. This font has also become an industry standard for all screenplays.
Korea.
Courier it is. Yes, it is Courier font. Next question to Dan. This photograph sees Halsey impersonating which singer-songwriter as pictured in an iconic photo shoot taken during her Tidal era. Starting off as an alternative darling in the 90s, she is still going strong with her album Fetch the Bolt Cutters, garnering her 2 Grammys in 2020.
Fiona Apple.
Absolutely right. No delay there. Fiona Apple it is. Back to the atmospherics. This is an optical phenomenon that you see here. 9 letters appearing as a bright white spot directly opposite the sun in the sky. It typically occurs when sunlight is reflected off ice crystals in cirrus clouds, creating a rare halo-like effect. What is this atmospheric phenomenon called? Opposite the sun.
Anti-solar. I don't know.
Anti-solar. Good try there, Dan, but not the right answer. Nikhil, venture a guess.
Pass.
Okay. Prudence. Yeah. Shashwat?
Antilian.
Yeah, rolling the dice or what?
Yeah.
Rolling the dice, and Shashwat says Antillean, and it's absolutely right. Well
I was
done.
thinking about
Well
that.
done. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, who dares wins? Nikhil, the first of your two. Which German explorer disappeared after being last seen on 3rd April 1848 near the modern day of Roma, Queensland? This naturalist's third major expedition attempted to try and cross the continent from the Darling Downs to the Swan River settlement, what is now Perth.
Leichhardt?
Leichhardt it is. Well done, Nikhil. Nice answering, tough one. So this happens to be Ludwig Leichhardt.
Oh,
His
yes.
last expedition served as the inspiration for Patrick White's Voss. Well done, Nikhil. Here's your next question coming up. Back to typefaces. So this one, sans serif, designed by Paul Renner in 1927, based on geometric shapes, especially the circle, similar in spirit to the Bauhaus design style. Identify this typeface. It was marketed extensively by the Bauer Type Foundry with the slogan, the typeface of today and tomorrow. And its high point was when it was used for the Apollo 11 plaque on the moon.
Say Zenith.
Not Zenith. Okay. High Point. Okay. Sean, would you like to try?
Futura?
It is Futura. So the
Uh,
there was tomorrow and not
no,
Zenith.
I did
Excuse me.
think of future, and I changed my mind when I saw that high point.
That's bad luck.
Yeah. that's stupid.
Anyway, this happens anyway. So
I should have gone with something that's actually a font. Yeah.
yeah, I don't recall a font called Zenith actually. Yeah, Futura. Yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's just a question. Shashwat, round 6 starting. So here goes. In the chapter titled Saraswati's Son, Pillai narrates the story of the syncretic Prince Ibrahim II, who flirted dangerously with apostasy by invoking Hindu gods as part of his daily prayers and even briefly renaming his kingdom Vidyapur. He was a member of which dynasty that was established by Yusuf Khan in 1490. So we're looking for the name of a dynasty.
Uh, the Adil Shahi dynasty, Sultanate.
Okay, absolutely right. It is the Adil
Mhm.
Shahi dynasty or the Adil Shahi Sultanate. So Ibrahim actually
That's what I thought. I was going to go for
Bijapur,
Bijapur.
which was originally Vijaypur to Vidyapur. Okay, so that's a
Nice.
little bit of interesting India trivia there for you. Moving on, let's see. Okay, Shashwat, your next question, back to the list of countries bordering, this time Turkey, descending order of border length. Here are 5: Syria, Iran, Iraq, blank, Georgia. Which is the missing country in position 4?
Azerbaijan.
Not Azerbaijan. Dan,
Bulgaria.
not Bulgaria. Nikhil,
Say Cyprus.
not Cyprus. Sean,
Armenia?
it is Armenia. Yes, yes. Armenia shares a border with Turkey. If I'm not mistaken, Mount Ararat is also somewhere that side.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
I think it's on the border.
Okay. Right. Sean, here's the first of your two. Mahajazersi is the highest mountain within which mountain range that stretches for 645 kilometers from Italy in the northwest to Albania in the southeast. It derives its name from the tallest peak in Croatia, which is located along its border with Bosnia and Herzegovina.
I don't really know. The Dinaric Alps?
The Dinaric Alps. Yes, Mount Dinara is the right
Yeah.
one. So it is the Dinaric Alps. Well done.
100%, yeah.
Yep. So points for you there, Sean. And here is your next question. Okay, this franchise, while it was based in a city located on an isthmus near Puget Sound, is technically credited with the 1979 NBA championship. Led by Dennis Johnson, they bested the Washington Bullets in 5 games. Identify the former avatar of this franchise.
Seattle Supersonics?
Yes, it is Seattle Supersonics. Well done. Well done, Sean. Seattle Supersonics. And we move on to Dan. Dan, here's the first of 2. Which author adopted her maternal great-grandmother's name as her pen name and decided to put it in lowercase letters to convey what is most important to focus upon is her works and not her personal qualities. This convention started with And There We Wept in 1978, which is a chapbook of poems.
I'll try bell hooks.
Yes, you're right. It is bell hooks, all in lowercase letters. Perfect, Dan. Here is your next question. Okay, one more painting by Gentileschi depicting which virtuous Hebrew figure in a frightened state while two older men lurk above her while she is in the bath. She refuses to be blackmailed by them, who get her arrested for adultery under false pretense. However, Daniel interrupts the proceedings and ensures that justice prevails.
I am just in the wrong seats. This is, I don't know who this is. Pass.
Passing, Nikhil.
It's Susanna.
Yes, this is Susanna and the Elders,
Susanna and the Elders.
one of Daniel's more famous achievements. Good steal there, Nikhil. And Nikhil, here's your set of two. Let's see, you can catch up with this. This fashion aesthetic, comparable to quiet luxury, emphasizes on investing in understated garments made out of high-quality fabrics. This sophisticated, timeless style is typically associated with the kind of people who have inherited their wealth instead of working for it. What's it called? 2 words.
Old money.
Yes, it is old money. No delay there in that. And Nikhil, here is your next question in this round. Back to the dumplings. Identify this family of Russian dumplings that consist of minced meat or mushroom filling wrapped in thin unleavened dough. It is similar to the Ukrainian vareniki and the Polish pierogi, although the ratio of the amount of filling to the thickness of the dough shell varies from region to region.
I'll say pelmeni.
Yes, it is pelmeni. Gone in a flash. Well done, Nikhil. You had a good round there. Round 7, and before that, let's take a quick look at the scores. Dan on 9, Nikhil, Shashwat on 10, Nikhil on 11, and Sean on 12. 1 point separating each of the players. And second last round, and let's see what happens. Shashwat, your first of 2. Kashar Dagi is the highest peak in which mountain range in Turkey, where it is locally known as Kuzey Anadolu Daglari. Its name comes from the Greek term for Black Sea, as reflected in the historical region in ancient Turkey, where a namesake kingdom proclaimed by Mithridates I ruled.
Anatolian Alps.
Not the Anatolian Alps. Over to you, Dan.
Pontic Alps.
Yes, it is the Pontic Alps. Mithridates,
Pontus.
king of Pontus. Yes. Good steal there, Dan. And Shashwat, your second question in this round. Which novelist adopted her pen name following a child's mispronunciation of her second name, Louise? No stranger to living under 2 flags. In 1871, she moved to from London to Italy, where she lived in great style, collecting art, riding horses, and keeping many dogs to which she was deeply attached.
Oh, God.
Rees.
No, it isn't. Sean?
Ouida?
Ouida is right. Ouida, Ouida. Yes, the author of the bestseller Under
Dog
2
of
Flags
Flanders.
and the children's
Yeah.
classic A Dog of Flanders.
It's like the
Good
most
deal there,
popular
Sean.
book in
And Sean,
Japan or something.
first of your 2 questions coming up. This photograph sees Halsey impersonating which singer-songwriter, as seen on the cover of the 2003 album Fallen? Referred to by Halsey as the OG dark rock queen, her work with the new metal band she co-founded is much better known than her solo work.
Lee.
Lee is right. Well done.
That's a pretty good impersonation.
Amy Lee of Evanescence. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, great
I
impersonation.
saw these and loads of them are like frighteningly good.
Mm.
Right. So this is Amy Lee of Evanescence. I think we're done with Halsey now, I think, in 4 avatars. Okay, next question to you, Sean. Back to Marvel. Identify this Marvel series which features the titular character taking on the witch's role. Catherine Hahn reprises her role from WandaVision after it turns out that she was the villain the whole time.
Yeah, what exactly is this called? Agatha all along?
Yes, it is Agatha all along. You're right. And going on to the next question, Dan, the first of two. Deriving from the Latin word for swamp or marsh, identify this type of enclosure that incorporates both terrestrial and aquatic elements, a cross between a terrarium and an aquarium. It is used to replicate wetland habitats and houses animals such as shallow water fish and tree frogs in addition to semi-aquatic plants.
Don't know the Latin word for swamp, so we'll pass this.
Okay, you're going to pass. Shashwat,
Jesus.
you know the Latin word for marsh or swamp?
Pass. No.
Okay. Nikhil?
Pass.
Okay. And Sean?
No, I'm gonna let this die. Pass.
Passing. Any non-competitive guesses? Anyone?
I think it's something with him. No, is it?
Okay, so the word is
Oh,
paludarium.
wow. Okay, that's
Not getting that.
That's
Yeah.
Miles harder. Sorry, Dan.
That's
Yeah.
something new for me. I didn't know this. Okay, something new.
It
All
is.
right. Paludarium it is. No worries. Let's go back to one more question for Dan.
Oh yeah, squash in Indian history. Come on, hit me. All right.
Well, not yet.
Okay, passion projects. One more megalopolis-inspired question. This is a 1924 passion project that was heavily delayed because several actors fell ill during the long shooting schedule at Death Valley. The director's rapacity for accuracy saw his 9-hour masterpiece eventually... Sorry.
It's Greed by Eric von Stroheim. We can just...
Yep. So let me finish
well
that. The director's rapacity for accuracy shows 9-hour masterpiece eventually cut into a shell of by itself by Irving Thalberg, the head of MGM. Which film was this? And the answer, what did you say?
Greed.
Greed it is. Yes. Eric von Stroheim's Greed. Well done. And Nikhil, your 2 questions in this penultimate round. Here's the first one. Back to squash. Who became the first North American to win the Men's World Squash Championship in 1998? Known for his drop shots and his McEnroe-esque outbursts on court, this Canadian had a long-standing rivalry with Peter Nicol that paved the way for many memorable finals.
Norman?
What did you say?
Norman.
No, not that. Passing.
Power.
Yes, it is Power.
Yeah, well
Absolutely
done.
right. It is Jonathan Power. See there. Good steal there, Shashwat. And Nikhil, your second question. What type of polar stratospheric clouds, 8 or 5 letters, is made up of ice crystals which are formed when the sun is between 1 to 6 degrees below the horizon? It produces a bright iridescence that makes the sky look like mother of pearl.
Knacker?
Okay, I'll give that to you. Nacre or
Mother
Nacre.
of pearl.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough. Well done, Nikhil. Nicely
Thanks.
pulled out there. So we are moving on to the last round, and right now Sean has pulled away slightly to 15. Nikhil close behind on 12, and Shashwat and Dan Burgess just to whisker away at 11 apiece. And here is the final round of this edition of the Zephyr Quiz League. So let's take a look at the first of two questions, the final two to Shashwat. Shashwat, this franchise, while it is based in a city home to the first stock exchange in the US, is technically credited with the 1956 NBA championships. Led by Paul Azarin, they bested the Fort Wayne Pistons in 5 games. Identify the older name of this franchise.
Philadelphia Warriors.
The Philadelphia Warriors, and we will mark you right there. Yes, it is the Philadelphia Warriors. And your next question, the last one in this set, identify the Marvel series, which will see Dominic Thorne reprise her role from a cameo in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. It'll follow the titular character using a will of steel to take on various foes while trying to finish her degree at MIT. So, which series is this?
Suri.
What did you say, Shashwat?
Suri.
No. Passing to Dan.
Indomitable.
Okay, no. Nikhil?
Ironheart.
Yes, it is Ironheart.
Oh,
It is
right,
Ironheart.
This hasn't come out yet, though.
Yeah, Nikhil is up on his future Marvel comic.
Apparently, not on the ones that I've watched. Like,
Good
I've
tips there.
I've completely forgotten what I've got left, so it could go anyway, really.
This is all the Marvel universe on Mimirs. That's another set of its own. Okay, Sean, the first of your two questions. Okay, here's a list now, again, of countries bordering Democratic Republic of Congo in descending order of border length. Which country is missing? So here's the list: Angola, Congo Republic, Zambia, blank, and Uganda.
God, I hate these. Oh no. It's not, but Tanzania.
Not Tanzania.
it's not.
Shashwat?
Pass.
Dan?
CAR.
CAR? Yes, it is CAR.
Oh, wow.
Well done. Well done.
Well done.
Central African Republic. Yep.
I thought it
Very
was
timely
Tanzania, so,
steal
all right.
there, and good for you, Dan. This fashion aesthetic is characterized by a preppy yet gothic look influenced by 20th century British or New England college attire. The style emerged on Tumblr in 2015 among those who are fans of works such as the Harry Potter series or Donna Tartt's The Secret History. What's it called?
Dark Academia.
Dark Academia it is. No change in the answer there at all. It's absolutely as it's mentioned here. Well done. And
Feel free to just pass me automatically when you get done reading these two questions.
okay, Dan, here's your question. Who became the first New Zealander to win the Men's World Squash Championship in 1986? He is arguably most well known for this final in Toulouse, where he put an end to Jahangir Khan's legendary run of 555 consecutive wins starting from 1981.
Smith.
Not Smith. Okay, Shashwat.
Norman.
Yeah, this is
Oh, well
Norman.
done.
Oh, okay.
God
Which
damn
one did
it.
you say?
Is
Yes,
that-
it is
is-
Norman. Yes, yeah.
Is
Ross
that
Norman.
all 4? Well done.
Yeah, I think that was
The only annoying thing is I'd read that it was a Peruvian and then not read as well. I was told it was a Peruvian and then was either not told or forgotten what his name was. So yeah.
Okay, Dan, no worries. Let's try another Smith for you. Hopefully not a Smith. Here it is. In the final chapter of Rebel Sultans, titled House of Sheep, Pillai narrates the downfall of Golconda, the last sultanate of the Deccan. It was ruled by which dynasty? It was established in 1512 by Sultan Kuli, a Turkic general. Its reign lasted till 1687, when its ruler Abul Hassan was captured and jailed for life by the Emperor Aurangzeb.
Pass.
Passing. Nikhil?
Say Ahmad Shah.
Not Ahmed Shah. Shashwat?
Asaf Jai.
Not the Asaf Jahi. And Sean?
No, pass.
Okay, passing. Okay, so the
Sean.
answer turns out to be the Qutub Shahi dynasty. Okay, sorry,
Okay.
Nikhil.
No, couldn't have got
Yep.
that.
So,
I was waiting for Golconda, but then it appeared in the question.
Yeah.
no worries.
Yeah, even I've heard of Golconda, so I don't think you're going to get anything there.
Yeah.
All right.
Right, let's move on to the final two questions. Nikhil, you're going to round off this. Which photo sees Halsey impersonating this particular singer seen on the cover of her 2001 self-titled album? Halsey layered the song Letter to God with vocals of a 2-year-old son, taking inspiration from the baby noises heard in the singer's track, Are You That Somebody? So which singer is Halsey impersonating here?
Let's say Sheryl Crow.
Not Sheryl Crow. Sean?
No, I've gone blank. Pass.
Okay. Shashwat?
Pass.
And Dan?
Aaliyah.
Alia it is. Well done.
Oh, it
Nice,
just
nice.
was. Oh, I convinced
Alia.
myself that
So her full name is Alia Dana Horton. Before
I
we go
convinced
to the
myself it
last
wasn't. Oh, well.
question, let's sit down. Let's take a look at the scores for a sec. Oh my goodness. So Sean, I think, is safe on his third, and this is going to be a successful attempt at the grand final at ZQL. Well done, Sean. But we have a very
Well done,
exciting chase for second place with Shashwat, Dan, and Nikhil. Nikhil, this is important. Here you
Oh
go.
boy.
Well, if you want to throw me
No
a
pressure.
musketeer on this director thing, I'd be happy. Sorry, go ahead.
This 1971 passion project had its genesis in the director wondering what happened to the large wooden Western sets after a film shoot was wrapped. It incurred a significant delay after he decided to re-edit it to a non-linear narrative, which film that, despite its title, saw its creator make 4 more commercial films.
Okay. Last Picture Show.
The Last Picture Show,
Yeah, well done.
valiant effort, Nikhil. Sorry, I'll have to pass you on that,
Oh.
Sean.
That's what I thought it was. Pass.
Okay, passing. Shashwat,
The End.
The End. Okay, that's the Doors. Okay, and Dan?
That's pass.
No. So, okay,
Pass.
last one went
I thought it was the last
unanswered.
picture show. So that's 1971.
Yes,
That's
very
1971. But
It is
that was
the
Dennis
last
Hopper, right?
movie. It's called The Last Movie by
Damn it.
Dennis Hopper.
So
Okay,
I would have guessed Last Movie if I
Yeah.
didn't think Last Picture Show fit everything.
No,
very
no.
close.
Well, I
Very
thought
close.
I was going to say Ali, but then I convinced myself it couldn't be for some reason.
Mm.
That's just lighting it. Yeah.
So,
Well done.
Well done, Sean. Good game.
Thank you
at the
very
end
much.
of
Good
300
game.
plus
Well
players,
played, everyone.
round of applause to Shashwat, Dan, and Nikhil, who scored 13 points. And congratulations to Sean, third time lucky. Well done, Sean. Round of applause to
everyone.
you
Thank you.
Well done,
for
Sean.
this. And all that remains for me is to thank all of you who took part in this quiz, all of you who helped out in the reading the quizzes, the question setters, and everyone who's watching this show. Thank you, and that's it from the Zephyr Quiz League.
Farewell.
See you.
Thank you,
very,
Dr. Naveen, and all the organizers.
Thanks for
It was a
See
great
you soon.
season.
Farewell.
Thank
See
you,
you all.
and
Well done,
bye-bye.
Sean.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.